We mark all of those, they don't actually thump near those, and they have little monitors to see if there's an acceleration is too high, and then they know to back off if they're getting too much energy into the ground. They've done all this, and basically the whole rest of the state, it's been done, and so people out there are pretty used to it. Coming here, it's a little bit unusual, and so in particular, I wanted to make sure people were aware of it, because it's probably something that most people haven't seen in their lives if they've been around here too long. This is approximately where we're going. This is my working map, so it may not, this is the geology on it, so it might not be identifiable to you, but basically we're going west of Lebanon on back roads down into the game lands down here. And then we'll continue down, we'll skip Lancaster City because it's just too much noise. And then further on down. So, any questions? Yes?
I have a question. What do you use this geology information for?
Well, in our case, it's just for the sake of knowing.
Okay. Would it impact future locations of residential housing? I mean, if they're on a fault line underneath? I mean, what is ultimately the use of the information?
There's lots of uses down the line. It would help if there was an actual fault line. Obviously, we don't live in a seismically active area, so it's not too much of a danger, but at least it would tell you if there was something there, if there was you might have increased radon gas coming up if you're on a line like that. Just knowing the basic what's underneath your feet can be helpful if you're, we have sinkholes, and we know that there's sinkholes, because the limestone's at the surface, but this would also tell us not what kind of rock is beneath the surface, but how it's configured underneath the surface.
So you'll be able to see caves and things?
Actually, no, because that's considered too small, and near the surface we're going deep. So we're looking at things very, very deep. And so it's pretty much just going to show us the folding and faulting of the rocks.
Are you expecting to find gas there?
Historically, there hasn't been any, so I'm not expecting to find any. And of course, we wouldn't be able to tell just by doing the seismic work. You'd have to drill it. But if you look at the gas records, there's everything out here and nothing down here. I found one reference in 1910 to somebody finding oil in Lancaster, but I think it's a little dubious.
Why has this never been studied before? Why?
Because there's no oil and gas. To be quite blunt about it, there's no money in it.
I thought they would have found it in Cumberland. That's just an insight.
All this, we have to come up with an evaluation of all the rocks in the state, and I can do that for all the rocks except for the ones down here. And for carbon sequestration, you're really looking primarily for something like a depleted oil and gas field. Well, there aren't any here that I know of.
The sinkholes.
Just sinkholes, which would not be a good place to put it.
Would this help in calculations of the amount of water we have available under the surface in any way?
Again, this is going down 2 miles, so this is really deep structure that will tell you if there's really basic faults down there. Historically, there hasn't been seismic activity here, but this would give us an indication if there was at one time, and if the potential is there for something in the future, say. It's probably not. Just based upon what we know, there's probably not much possibility of seismic activity. But there is that one fault in Lancaster that just went, and there's the stuff in Dillsburg that's continuing.
The Arctic fault.
Yeah, the Arctic line is there. No one really knows what the Arctic line is, and this would finally answer that question.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
We do have some fossils and different things that have come to the surface in Lebanon County, but many, many, many years ago, and I don't know, those things would be detected if they're becoming active again for some reason.
Well, again, those are all near, we know about the surface, and the surface is wonderful. I love the rocks around here,
Right.
and you have Cornwall, but we don't know,
Underneath.
we don't know what's below a few hundred feet. at most. The deepest water wells are what we know about. And where you have oil and gas, people have drilled down thousands of feet, so we have a pretty good idea what's happening there. So if you think about it from my point of view, I can see what's happening out here. I get here, and it's all just a mystery. I'd really like to know.